fireworks are in the air.
Woo!
Oh my goodness. 2024, the ball has dropped and we are back, baby. And man, oh man, what a better way to start out year 7 and 2024 than with an amazing guest, the one and only Dylan Hoffman from You Are So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah with Adam Sandler and his daughters. Man, oh man, I'm super excited for everybody to hear this one.
Oh my gosh, he was such a pleasure to chat to. He is a very intelligent young man. He's got his stuff together, but he's also a lot of fun. And he's an 80s movies fan, like one in particular, where you got to check that out because he had me smiling. This guy's got it all together, and yeah, like you said, no, can't have had a better guest to kick off the first show of season 7. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. I'm so excited to be back.
Yes, me too, man. Me too. And it's kind of crazy because, I mean, we knew the kid was talented, but man, we did not know he had his own fan club.
No.
This guy, I mean, it's been amazing to see. Everybody has been loving everything we've been putting out there and teasing about it. So I'm super excited for everybody to finally hear the interview. But that is later on in the show. Let's get a little crazy right now. Hello, everyone. So you want to start a podcast but have no idea where to start? Well, Crazy Ant Media is here to help you. We want to assist you finding your VFE. What's VFE, you ask? Well, that is your voice, your format, and your equipment. These are the 3 biggest essentials you need to start your podcast. All those hours watching non-stop YouTube videos or all those random website links, those are done. Just hop on a Zoom call with us and we'll talk about everything you need to know to create your own podcast and find your voice. Plus, we will send you home with a 12-page packet over everything we just discussed. It's very in-depth. It is definitely a must-need while trying to start your first podcast. Contact us at info@crazyantmedia.com today so that you can start finding your podcast voice for tomorrow. What's up, guys? Oh my goodness, episode 245, and you guys know your host with the most for 7 seasons, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mal.
What's up? Welcome. We're back.
We're back, and
Yes.
It feels so great because after basically half a year of not having guests, we're lining them up and knocking these things out like crazy, and we're super excited for the foreseeable future for ITCAF podcast, for Everything's Okay, and for Crazy Ant Media. It's going to be a great year.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And look, I cannot believe that we are literally starting year 7 of this podcast. It is so amazing to me that we have been doing it for that long now. And I don't know about you, but I am so unbelievably grateful for all of the relationships and friendships that we've built over the years with this show, with all of our incredible guests and all of this, just the most talented people. And it's just been an amazing ride. We've learned so much. We've grown so much. It's just been amazing, and I feel like we should. It just feels right to give a shout out to that show with those guys, because this show wouldn't exist if not for those incredible men and that show, and giving us an opportunity to come on there and even giving us the idea to start this show, which they did. And so huge thanks to them, because we wouldn't be here all these years later if they hadn't given us the shot to start this whole bad boy. And huge shout out to all of you, all of the listeners out there, all of the watchers out there, the fans. You don't stick around for 7 years if people aren't listening and watching. And you guys, oh, we are so grateful for you. And like Logan said, this year is going to be freaking amazing. It's so much going on in the industry. We're lining up so many amazing guests. Woo! It's going to be amazing.
Boy, oh boy, and we have so much to talk about on this first show back, but man, we got a few things to tease first, because before teasing the rest of the show and before teasing another thing, we have to be sure to let you know, because leaving a rating on this podcast helps this show get seen by more people who love the entertainment industry. And if you comment, it's even better for the algorithm. So leaving a rating on the podcast helps the people see this show more, especially those who love the entertainment industry and those who are breaking into the entertainment industry. Us here at Crazy Ant Media are the go-to source for your entertainment news and lending the helping hand for up-and-comers breaking into it. We enjoy that so much.
Facts.
We're all about giving advice, consultations, and so much more. But man, oh man, speaking of promoting like-minded individuals and other people who have actually been on the show before, multiple-time guests, Jason Warner Smith. Boy, oh boy, you know him from like The Walking Dead and Where the Crawdads Sing. He has a new short film out right now, and it's called Chipper. And you can stream that on YouTube under, listen, we're going to be talking about the Golden Globes, and you guys know I'm awful at butchering names, so I'm not even going to butcher this name. What is the name of that YouTube channel?
Amalettos. Yes. Yeah, you can stream it there on YouTube under Amaletto's channel. And I think he just recently posted that this thing is now worldwide. So plenty of opportunities to see this, but easily YouTube Amaletto's channel. And yeah, huge shout out to Jason Warner Smith. He was one of our very first guests way back in the day. So we're so grateful for him. We got to go see him live in Atlanta at a performance of a play that he did. Just phenomenal actor, phenomenal guy, and we're grateful for his friendship. And just, yeah, check out the movie because this one seems intense. It's like after receiving a mysterious letter, a wayward son returns to his childhood home to wrestle with a dark family secret. Now, if that don't get you on board with Jason Warner Smith, you remember him from The Walking Dead. Dude can be intense. So this is, you got to check this movie out. Go do that. Light that thing up for him, man. That would be awesome.
Yes, for sure, for sure. All right, back to your regular scheduled programming. Man, oh man, we're going to be talking all about the Golden Globe winners. We're going to be talking all about what's happening at all the studios right now, because there is a lot happening. And I know everybody's wondering, who's going to present and host the People's Choice Awards? Well, oh boy, we're super excited to talk about that a little later on in the show, because he's a Marvel guy. We love Marvel, and of course we're going to be talking about it.
Yeah, and he's brave, because after the Golden Globes, we all know people are kind of like, I don't want to host.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right, that's right. So that's going to be fun, though.
For sure, for sure. And before diving into the rest of the show, of course, we got to plug our merchandise website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. So right now, you can get my design, but we have completely changed up our merchandise line. So it is way more mainstream now. If you are a podcaster, if you are a filmmaker, a writer, producer, director, any of these things, we have gear for you. And it's
true.
Amazing, man. We are still going to be releasing our old designs because I know people love them. We are going to be releasing those every once in a while. So that's why you have to follow us on social media at Crazy Ant Media and at ITCAF Podcast, because we have so many great ones, like his Morning Vibes shirt that he has on right now. I mean, come on, who doesn't feel like Bonk in that shirt?
Every morning. You gotta. Sometimes I feel like Bonk at night. I have my coffee. It's like sometimes it's just necessary, you know. And if you're listening to this right now on the weekend that this show drops, it's free shipping. It's no better time to go on over to the website, click on the merch link, and get your stuff because it's free shipping. Take advantage of that, and yeah, do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, I've been doing my stretches, and I'm ready to jump into this show.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to start off with the Golden Globes,
yes,
which is kind of awesome to see because, you know, a couple years ago, the Golden Globes has had a little controversy, right? It's kind of been a roller coaster of emotions.
And was ditched.
Like, nobody wanted that on their network. No. But in its first year airing on CBS, the Golden Globes hit a 9.4 million total viewers, jumping 50% from 2023's performance. So that's really awesome to see.
Oh, yeah.
And according to the time zone adjusted Fast National, including out-of-home ratings from Nielsen, the 2023 show hosted by Jared Carmichael, which aired on NBC last year, was available to stream on Peacock. recorded a 1.1 rating among the key adults, of course, with that key demographic, 18 to 49, and 6.3 million viewers, which was down from the previous year. So you see that it's continuing to grow. Now, the Golden Globes, CBS became the Golden Globes' new home this year following the bout of tumultuous time in the awards show's history due to scandal.
Yes.
NBC previously served as a longtime home for the Globes and began airing the awards show back in 1996 when I was born. That's going to age me a little bit, but I'm sure you remember that.
I was 26, my man. I was 26. I remember it.
You're like,
I was around.
The 81st, the 81st annual Golden Globe ceremony went over with mixed reviews as viewers watched Joe Coy deliver his first performance as host for a major award show, featuring some jokes in his opening monologue that didn't really go over too well, let's be honest about it, with the audience and with the at-home viewers, which included friends like Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, as well as Barbie cast members Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Greta Gerwig. But overall, the night featured big wins for several first-time winners, including Divine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers, Kieran Culkin from Succession, Ayo Abdari from The Bear, and Oppenheimer cleaned up that award show, taking home 5 wins and the most of any nominated film this year, including Best Motion Picture, while Succession reigned supreme on the TV side of things with 4 wins for its final season that concluded in May. The series also won Best Drama. In case you missed it, here are all the winners.
Yes, let's dive into this bad boy and rock and roll. The Best Motion Picture Drama, because as you guys know, the Golden Globes split them up between musical, comedy, and drama. So Best Motion Picture Drama, as Logan said, Oppenheimer. Duh. I think this is the front runner for the Oscar now, no doubt about it.
For sure. And Best Picture for a musical or comedy went to Poor Things by Searchlight. So that's really cool to see. And that's on my list. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited.
Same. And that was an upset. A lot of people were thinking that was a shoe-in for Barbie, and Poor Things was announced, and they were like, wait, what? Best Director for a Motion Picture? No-brainer here. Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer.
Of course. Best Screenplay for a Motion Picture, Anatomy of the Fall by Justine Triet and Arthur Harari.
There you go. Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer.
Of course. Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture Drama, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon. Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if she took home that Oscar as well. I'm making my prediction now.
I'm thinking so. That's a strong bet. Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. It wasn't Margot Robbie. It was Emma Stone for Poor Things. So, I mean, Poor Things did pretty well, all things considered. That's pretty awesome.
For sure. And the best performance by an actor in motion picture, musical, or comedy goes to Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. And the show held him over long enough to where afterwards he went and got some In-N-Out.
I love that, man. He just plopped his Golden Globe right on the table, eating his In-N-Out burger. The man is so real. I fucking love Paul Giamatti. He's so good. Best supporting actor for motion picture, Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer.
And Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture goes to Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers.
Woo. Have you checked this one out yet?
I have.
Okay, yeah, it's so amazing. I was happy to see them win because this movie was just incredible. I was like, oh, loved it. And this one was a no-brainer. I love this show. The show was phenomenal. It was it deserved it. Final season. You know how they send everything off with the final season wins. Best television series drama, Succession. Without doubt.
Makes sense. And for the second year in a row, they had no idea it was going to happen again, but it only makes sense with the utmost of success that it's had. Best television series in a musical or comedy goes to The Bear.
And you know why I think I have a theory here? You know why I think they designated it as a series for musical or comedy? Because they wanted to give it the award, but they also wanted to give Succession the award, and they couldn't do both. Because Because let's be honest about it, The Bear is not a comedy. It's a dramedy. It's more drama than comedy. And
we said the same thing last year when they won that.
Exactly, and I think that's the reason. It's like, we got to give it to Succession, but we love The Bear. Let's make it a comedy. That's the only explanation I can think of how they designate that show as a comedy. You watch that dinner table scene, and that is not a fucking comedy in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. I'm just saying. Best performance by an actor in a television series, drama, was Kieran Culkin. I was surprised that this was his first ever win. I was shocked by that. But, I mean, he was brilliant in that role, so good for him, man.
Completely makes sense. I mean, he wore it like the coat on his back.
Definitely.
Best performance by an actress in a television series drama goes to Sarah Snook from Succession, of course.
You got to have the sister win, so now the 3 siblings all won. Right? There you go. That's fantastic. Best actress in a TV series, musical, or comedy, Ayo Edebiri from The Bear. Well deserved.
Makes sense.
Oh, totally makes sense.
Best actor in a TV series, musical, or comedy goes to her screen partner, Jeremy Allen White for The Bear.
Yes, so good, so good. I'm going to go and predict this guy might get an Oscar nomination as well for The Iron Claw. He's just killing it right now. I really think, and if he doesn't, I'm going to be shocked because he deserves it. Best supporting actor for television, Matthew McFadden for Succession, because you can't have all the kids without having the son-in-law. And if anybody doesn't know, spoiler, Matthew McFadden's character ends up with the company. It's none of the kids. Yeah. Kids didn't get it. He did. He did. Oh, what? All right, just saying. Shocker.
So wild. So wild. Best supporting actress television goes to Elizabeth Debicki from The Crown. Only makes sense with that one wrapping up its tenure as well.
Oh yeah, without doubt, without doubt. Best limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television, Beef. If you guys haven't checked this one out, it's about road rage, and who doesn't have road rage sometimes, right? This is a brilliant show, so it only makes sense these next 2 that we're about to read are also on the list.
Have you checked that one out yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I freaking loved it. Oh, my gosh.
So good. It's so different from anything else that is out right now.
Oh, without doubt.
Check out The Beef on Netflix. And leading into best performance by an actor in a limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television, Stephen Yeun for The Beef in the leading role.
Yes, and best performance by an actress in the leading role for a limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television, Ali Wong for Beef, his co-star and leading lady. Are they together? Because they seem.
I don't think so.
They seem very.
She just got a divorce. Yeah.
Well, Steve.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Steve. They just seemed very friendly. I'm just saying, walking off stage, and maybe I'm starting a rumor. I don't want to start a rumor.
Right, exactly. We are not TNT. We promise. So, best original score for a motion picture goes to Ludwig Göransson. For Oppenheimer.
Yes.
I feel like that's a very German name. I don't know.
Yeah. You know where I first heard this guy? When I was watching the documentary for The Mandalorian. This is that guy that Favreau had, that they did that behind the scenes thing. That was how he came up with the music for the man. This guy is killing it. Yeah, he's doing amazing. Best picture non-English language was Anatomy of a Fall out of France. So there you go.
There you go. Best original song for a motion picture goes to Barbie. The song was What I Was Made For, and it was by Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas. So that's really cool to see.
Heck yeah. Best motion picture animated. I was caught off guard with this one. I thought again it was going to be Spider-Man, but it was not. It's The Boy and the Heron. Yeah,
I've heard good things about it. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard really good things about it. The best performance in stand-up comedy or television. This is a new category, and there was a couple of other people who I would have wished gotten it.
Same.
Because I'm not the biggest fan of this guy. If you watch award shows and award seasons, he has hosted the Emmy multiple times, and he's kind of just a very sarcastic person where you can't tell what he's saying or what he's being truthful with. Ricky Jarvis with Ricky Jarvis's Armageddon. I don't know where that's available, but good for him. Good for him.
Sure, good for him. And another new one, and this is really just a BS throwaway category because they didn't want to give this movie the other actual award, Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. Meaning you made a shit ton of money, but we don't think you were artsy enough to win the big prize. This one goes to Barbie, which was a no-brainer because it made $1 billion freaking dollars and it was beloved around the world. But they just didn't consider it Golden Globe worthy, so they give it this new award. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. If the Oscars start giving this type, didn't they though? Didn't the Oscars do you voted on this type of award last year? The people that's stupid. Just if you're not going to recognize $1 billion film because it's a great film, don't make up some cheap ass category to give it an award. Just put it in the freaking actual category. That's just my beef. Get it? Just saying. Ha.
Well, that is the end of our Golden Globes award chatter, and we're very excited to dive into the studios chatter. And of course, we're starting with our favorite, the juggernaut, Disney.
Yes.
Now, Disney is moving up the release date for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes from May 24th to May 10th. Now, this avoids a crowded Memorial Day weekend that also includes the releases of Ferozia, the Mad Max saga, and of course, the Garfield movie. Now, the Apes will now take on the Amy Winehouse biopic, though, Back to Black on the new date. I don't think it'll have any problem, though, to be honest. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes will also screen in IMAX for the first 2 weeks of release, marking first for an Apes movie. So that's kind of a cool milestone.
Yeah, I get the move, but I honestly didn't think it would have a problem against Ferozia or Garfield. People are really digging this new Apes, trilogy and franchise, and I just don't think it would have had a problem against those movies. But if Disney thinks so,
I guess you could say that the Mad Max one and and the Planet of the Apes is kind of like the same genre. I guess that's their thought process.
For sure.
But I mean, it's kind of weird. I didn't feel like it was necessary.
Yeah, same. And we talked about it just a minute ago, Mandalorian. Well, speaking of, Grogu is headed to the big screen. Yes, the big screen. Jon Favreau is actually going to direct a new Star Wars movie titled The Mandalorian and Grogu. It will go into production later this year. Now, as you guys know, Favreau created the Disney Plus series The Mandalorian, which follows the helmet-wearing bounty hunter, played by beloved Pedro Pascal, who starts the show on the run to protect a young, adorable alien named Grogu. But he was better known by fans as Baby Yoda before we found out his name was Grogu. It is unclear where the upcoming film will fit into the timeline of the live-action series, which has aired 3 seasons and is currently in development on its 4th. Now, The Mandalorian and Grogu is the first Star Wars movie in the works, with momentum anyway, since 2019's Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, which ended up grossing $1 billion globally and served as the grand conclusion to the original 9-chapter saga. Now, new installments of the space opera series from director Patty Jenkins and Marvel producer Kevin Feige were announced but never came to fruition, and just recently said canned. They're never coming to fruition. In the time since, Star Wars has launched 2 more live-action TV shows in the Mandoverse, The Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka, plus the upcoming Skeleton Crew. Now, Favreau will produce The Mandalorian and Grogu with Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and Ahsoka creator Dave Filoni. The Mandalorian and Grogu will lead Lucasfilm's feature-length development slate, including separate Star Wars films directed by Sharmeen Abdi-Shino and James Mangold. Now, though Disney's release calendar is constantly changing, an untitled Star Wars movie is still scheduled for May 22nd, 2026. A separate movie is set in a galaxy far, far away is set for December 18th, 2026, while a third Star Wars adventure is planned to be opened on December 17th of 2027. Now, what those movies are, we do not know because Disney has yet to clarify the specifics on any of those.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like this being officially the first one they greenlit and put out there publicly, it's kind of a lukewarm response for me, who is a big Star Wars fan, just because, you see the success from the television show and now you're just gonna make it a movie.
Right.
Okay, whatever. I need to see more actual films because this is what George Lucas did. But you mentioned it. Speaking of Ahsoka and Dave Filoni, season 2 is in development with the creator himself, Dave Filoni. Of course, we all know that Ahsoka, which aired its season 1 finale on October 3rd, starred Rosario Dawson's fan favorite Jedi, who's trying to save a galaxy from Grand Admiral Thrawn, a new threat after the fall of the Galactic Empire. Now, Dawson first brought Ahsoka Tano to live action in The Mandalorian Season 2 and also appeared in the Book of Boba Fett. Now, in addition to Dawson, Ahsoka Season 1 starred Natasha Liu Brizzetto as Mandalorian warrior Sabine Warren and Mary Elizabeth Winstead as New Republic General Hera Syndulla. The late star Ray Stevenson was the bad guy as Dark Jedi Blaine Skoll. Lars Mikkelsen as Grand Admiral Thrawn, and Emin Estefy as Ezra Bridger, which I know everybody was excited to see him.
For sure.
The show marked the first live-action appearances of Sabine, Hera, Thrawn, and Ezra, who were the main characters of the animated show Star Wars Rebels TV series. Now, of course, we also got cameo appearances and kind of a whole episode, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen also reprised his role as the one and only Anakin Skywalker from the prequel films, Ahsoka's former Jedi Master. Other cast members in Season 1 included Ivana Shakono as Shin Hati, Diana Lee Instado as Morgan Espeth, and David Tennant as the droid Hug. Now, Filoni is also directing a feature film that is expected to wrap up his TV series storylines. So that's very interesting. But I feel like, I don't remember specifically. This may be the first Star Wars series that got a season 2. I can't remember if Andor did. But
Andor did, but we haven't heard much about it. So,
So, only those two so far, which is kind of disappointing because I loved Obi-Wan. But it's okay because I felt like Ahsoka really brought Star Wars back.
Yeah, well, totally agree. And I'm with you on the intrepidation, but we've talked about it on past shows a lot. In Favreau and Filoni, we trust. They are our gatekeepers of George Lucas's original plans. And so I feel like if you're going to move forward with new movies, these are the two guys to do it. So, I'm putting my faith in that and saying, let's get it turned around. Let's get it going in the right direction. And I think they're going to do it. So we shall see. Speaking of turning things around and getting them in the right direction, and guys, we're going to be dropping our 2024 prediction soon. This was in my prediction, and this is a strong start to that prediction being correct. I'm just saying. After making all 5 episodes available on Tuesday, Marvel Studios' Echo premiered at number 1 on both the Disney Plus and Hulu platforms. The series marked several firsts for Marvel show. The first TV mature series developed at the studio. The first time every episode was available to subscribers at once. And the first time a whole Marvel series has been available on both platforms at the same time. It's also the first show under the new Marvel Spotlight banner, which the studio describes as a platform to bring more grounded, character-driven stories to the screen, focusing on street-level stakes over larger MCU continuity. Now, while the studio hasn't put out numbers, they are saying that Echo is doing better than some of the consistently top-performing titles on both platforms. The series is getting recognition from both the indigenous and deaf communities for its representation on screen and off. Dominic Patton from Deadline raved about the show in his review, saying it's exactly what the studio needs right now. Now, Echo, if you don't know, follows Maya Lopez as she is pursued by Wilson Fisk's criminal empire. When the journey brings her home, she must confront her own family and legacy. Also starring are Chesky Spencer, Tantoon Cardinal, Graham Greene, and of course the man himself, Vincent D'Onofrio, who returns as the villainous role of Wilson Fisk, a.k.a. the Kingpin. And they might have a little cameo of Charlie Cox playing a certain hero called Daredevil. I'm so excited. I haven't been able to binge watch this one yet. I haven't jumped on it, but from everything I'm seeing and from everything I'm hearing, it's reestablished the Netflix series. And I don't know if anybody noticed this, but they very quietly put all of the Netflix Marvel series into the main continuity timeline. Remember how they were separated before as Marvel Classic or whatever? It's now in the MCU timeline in timeline order. So it is canon. And there you go, which excites the shit out of me. I think it's awesome. And I can't wait to watch this freaking show.
Yeah, I saw earlier this week they finally announced that it was officially canon. Thank goodness, because everybody was kind of like, what? I'll tell you where I really messed up with this show, though, because I'm really excited to see it, and I attempted to start it the other day, but this is not a show for you to be multitasking with. No. I am a big multitasker, and I was like folding laundry, putting it away, and I'm like, oh, fuck, this has a lot to do with sign language, and you have to read, and like, don't multitask and watch this show at the same time.
I feel you, my man. I feel you on that. And just a side note on this, and then we got to move on because we're running and gunning through this thing. But she recently came out and said that she was overwhelmed and touched by the fact that everyone in the cast learned sign language. And so that when she got there, if for all you guys out there listening that don't know, she is actually deaf. It's not somebody playing a deaf person. She is actually deaf. And they all took the time to learn sign language. And when she got on set for the first day, greeted her with sign language. And she said it just kind of like brought her to tears. She was so overwhelmed and grateful that they took the time to do that. And I think that speaks kudos to how they talk about these relationships that the Marvel actors have, that they're family and that they, that's awesome to make somebody feel at home like that, and just amazing. That's amazing.
Completely agree. Well, The Marvels is flying to streaming services. That's right. The Brie Larson-led sequel, which first was released in theaters in November, will become available to purchase/rent on Apple TV Plus and Prime Video at the beginning of January 16th, and on Blu-ray and DVD on February 13th. Now, the digital and physical releases will feature exclusive bonuses content, including deleted scenes, a gag reel, behind-the-scene featurettes, and audio commentary from the co-writer and director Nia DaCosta and VFX supervisor Tara DeMarco. Now, the action-adventure spotlight the trio of spandex heroes, Larson as Captain Marvel, Tanya Paris as Monica Rambeau, and Amin Valneni as Miss Marvel, who are tasked with saving the universe from forces that seek to destroy it. Now, the very interesting thing is, you didn't hear it saying being released on Disney Plus. It's being released on Apple TV Plus and also available to rent on Amazon Prime. So that's very interesting. So we'll see when it hits Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean, this next one, I want to talk about, but I don't want to talk about because I'm sad about it. I'm sad about it. And the next story I definitely want to talk about. You want to flip-flop these? We should flip-flop these.
I'm fine with it. Well, The Good Doctor is going to end its run at ABC with its upcoming season 7. The series originally debuted on ABC in 2017. It has proven highly popular throughout its run and ranked as the #1 entertainment series in the Monday 10 p.m. time slot last season, especially in the adult key demographic with 18 to 49 per, of course, ABC. As previously announced, the 7th and now final season will debut on February 20th. The Good Doctor is the latest broadcast show to announce its end in the upcoming season, along with fellow ABC series Station 19 that will also end in its 7th season. So, yeah, man, that really sucks.
It does, man, and it makes no sense because it's still number 1 in its time slot by a landslide. So I guess maybe they just want to walk away. I don't know. The next one, hail to the victor. Michigan versus everybody. Done. Job finished. The Michigan Wolverines, as you guys know, won the national title. So, and anybody who's new to this show, I'm a huge Michigan Wolverines fan. That's why I wanted this one. And apparently so is everybody else, because the Michigan Wolverines delivered huge numbers for ESPN. The team secured their first national title in 26 years on this past Monday, and 25 million people tuned in to see them defeat the Washington Huskies. Now, the national championship game was telecast across ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN Deportes. Now, the main channel secured the hefty majority of that audience with 24.28 million viewers, according to the Nielsen data. Now, this marks the most watched title game in 4 years. It's also up about 45% from the title game of last year when Georgia defeated TCU by more than 50 points. That game only secured 17 million viewers. The national championship game is the second largest audience this college football season, as Michigan's Rose Bowl win over Alabama delivered nearly 28 million viewers and takes the top spot. Michigan's regular season win over Ohio State, the third most watched game of the season with 19 million tuning in. Translation, people fucking love Michigan. It's the 3 top highest rated games of the season. Makes total sense to me. Everybody was in on that. And kudos to you, because these numbers prove what you were saying, that the move of sports to streamers is where it's all going. You couldn't tune into ABC and watch this thing. You couldn't tune into a major network. You had to tune into a streamer and or ESPN to watch this, and those numbers are amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, completely agree, man. Completely agree. I'm excited to see where it all goes, and we'll talk about it in our 2024 predictions video, so stay tuned for that. That'll be dropping by the end of January.
Yes.
By the end of January. Now heading over to Fox, they are bringing back 2 of its 1990s staples, Martin and Ally McBeal, for one night only, though. The 2 shows are among the roster of cast reunions planned for the 75th Emmys on Fox this Monday. Now, the Emmy Awards executive producers Jesse Collins, Dylan Hoffman, and Janae Razun Clay have planned a ceremony that leans heavily on the history of television. Given the award's diamond anniversary, which is very exciting, tributes and reunions will focus on decades from the 1950s to present.
Awesome.
Now, for Martin, stars Martin Lawrence, Tisha Campbell, Carl Anthony Payne II, and Tishna Arnold will be in the audience. And on stage for Ally McBeal will be Callista Flockhart, Greg Gurman, Peter McNally, and Gil Bellows. Martin ran from 1992 to 97 on Fox, while Ally McBeal, which won an Outstanding Comedy Series back in 1999 at the Emmys, aired from 97 to 2002 on Fox. Now, additional reunions include Lorraine Baracco and Michael Imbrogli from The Sopranos, Connie Britton and Dylan McDermott from American Horror Story Murder House, and Ted Danson, Kelsey Grammer, Rhea Perlman, John Ratzenberg, and George Hines from Cheers. But that's not it, guys. I know that's a lot. Grey's Anatomy fans, get ready, because the one and only Izzy Stevens and Alex Karev are back together again. Yep, Katherine Heigl and Justin Chambers are among the special group of Grey's vets reuniting on stage. The duo will be joined by Ellen Pompeo, of course, who plays Meredith Grey, James Pickens Jr., who plays Richard Weber, and Chandra Wilson, who plays the one and only Miranda Bailey, to jointly announce one of the night's biggest winners. Now, those are just 2 of the many ideas that Jesse Collins' entertainment team are bringing to this year's landmark 75th Emmys. Now, the executive producers are no strangers to live events, having produced the Oscars, Grammys, BET Awards, and the Super Bowl halftime show which won Collins and Harmon an Emmy back in 2022 in recent years. So I feel like the Emmys are in good hands. But honestly, I never worry about the Emmys. It's always the Oscars that I worry about.
Yeah, and I love this idea, reuniting all these casts from these like massive shows over all these years. That's going to be really fun to watch. That's going to be exciting. Let's jump on over to the bunny now, Warner Brothers Discovery. Oh my goodness. I'm calling it right now. This is a publicity stunt. This is an attempt to get A-listers back after Zaslav told them all the fuck off. He's trying to get them back. Tom Cruise, ladies and gentlemen, has signed a new deal to develop and produce theatrical films with Warner Brothers Discovery. These movies will be a mix of original productions and franchise fare and will, of course, star Cruise. The company said in a release touting the deal. Now, as part of what is being billed as a new strategic partnership, Cruise and his production company will have offices on the Warner Brothers Discovery lot in Burbank. It's a coup for Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdy, who took over as co-chairs and CEOs of Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group back in 2022, and who have been working to reinvigorate the studio, as well as for David Zaslav, the man who hired them. Now, the deal with Cruise, who has projects at rival studios like Universal and Paramount, isn't exclusive. That's important because we've got another story and we're going to tell you about that. It is not exclusive, nor is it a traditional first look pact. The actor can make movies at other companies, but the hope is that he'll be able to generate the kind of globally appealing blockbusters that could spawn sequels and enhance Warner Brothers' bottom line. Now, Cruise has worked at Warner Brothers in the past, but it's been more than a decade since he appeared in the studio's Edge of Tomorrow. He also popped up in such Warner Brothers releases as Magnolia, Rock of Ages, Interview with a Vampire, and Eyes Wide Shut, an arduous shoot that saw Cruise give up more than a year of his career for a chance to be directed by the one and only Stanley Kubrick. Now, Warner Brothers also gave Cruise his breakout role in Risky Business, the teen sex comedy that saw the star memorably rock out to Bob Seger in his underwear. Cruise's upcoming films, of course, include the 8th installment of the Mission Impossible franchise for Paramount, as well as an upcoming Universal action movie for Edge of Tomorrow director Doug Liman that will see the actor become the first civilian to do a spacewalk outside of the International Space Station. He, of course, most recently appeared in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, as well as Top Gun Maverick, which was the biggest film of his career. That's important to remember, guys and gals, because when we jump to another studio, they're going to remind us of that.
Yes, that's for sure. That's for sure. And I don't know who at Warner Brothers is trying to stir up all the good press, but they're doing a great job this new year because Warner Brothers has Paul Thomas Anderson set to direct Oscar winners Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean Penn.
Ooh.
That's not it. As well as Regina Hall in an untitled film that will begin production this year in California. Anderson wrote the script and he will produce it with Sarah Murphy and Adam Sumner. Now, the film is currently untitled and they're keeping the log line under wraps. We have learned that it is a contemporary setting and it's almost the most commercial one PTA has attempted with the crazy budget. It came out of a relationship that Warner Brothers Picture Group co-chair CEOs Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdy built, making the PTA's latest film, Licorice Pizza, while they ran at MGM. That film got 3 Oscar nominations, of course, one being for Best Picture, the others being for Best Screenplay and Best Director. While DiCaprio, Penn, and Hall are all the leads, the new film will have a big ensemble cast that is still falling into place. Now, Anderson has done ensembles in the past, notably with Boogie Nights, the film that DeLuca shepherded when he headed the production at the New Line Studio. The film is significant for several reasons, along with developments like the strategic alliance just formed with the story we just talked about with Tom Cruise and the projects that include the Paul Greengrass scripted directed adaptation from T.J. Newman's best-selling author, Drowning: The Rescue of Flight 421. Warner Brothers and DeLuca and Abdy have the opportunity to change the narrative for the studio. Because let's admit it, like I teased a little bit earlier, it was a rough 2023 for this studio. Even as the studio finished as with the top grossing film, Barbie. But other than that, that was like one of the only positive things that came out of Warner Brothers last year. So they need to flip the script. And so far, I think they're doing a good job.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe I'm not a fan of Zaslav, and I think he's just a complete idiot and doesn't know what he's doing. But it was, and maybe it wasn't even his idea, but somebody guided him in the right direction by hiring these two, because they were successful at MGM, and they're clearly, their relationships with A-listers, they're being able to bring some in, and that's a good thing, because Zaslav fucked that up, and they're fixing it. So, that's all I can say on that. This one I'm excited about. According to several sources, DC Studios is planning to test actresses soon to star in Supergirl, and that Millie Elcook, Amelia Jones, and Meg Donnelly are in that mix. There is a chance the studio could make a straight offer to a star, but all things are pointing towards the screen tests for the actresses, which will go down within the next month or so. Now, of course, DC Studios co-boss James Gunn is definitely a part of the process, as this is a character who is very likely going to make its debut via a cameo in his Superman movie. So that only makes sense. The search is ongoing for a director for the Supergirl film. Alcock is best known, of course, for her lead role on HBO's Game of Thrones spin-off House of the Dragon, playing Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen. Jones counts her feature credits such as Paolo Sorrentino's Youth and Apple's Oscar Best Picture winner Coda, as well as Netflix series Lock and Key. Donnelly, of course, has starred in the Disney Channel Zombies franchise and is already the voice of Supergirl in DC's animated movies Legion of Superheroes and Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. Now, Gunn, with co-DC chief Peter Safran, first announced the Supergirl movie, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, during DC Studios' press day just more than a year ago. The movie is based on Tom King's comic book series from 2022. Personally, who I would like to see it without doubt is the girl from Coda. I think she's fantastic. She was killer in that role, and she's different from what you would think for Supergirl, which is why I think she should be the choice. I just my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, they're all three brilliant actors.
Oh, without doubt.
Honestly, I feel like any of them would kill it. And speaking of other roles that people are auditioning for, very excited for this one. The Last of Us has found its Abdi, Dina, and Jesse, with Caitlin Dever, Isabel Marced, and a young Marzino officially joining the season 2 of the hit HBO series.
There you go.
The Last of Us, of course, is based on the hit video game of the same name, created by Druckmann and developed by Naughty Dog. The official description states the story takes place 20 years after the modern civilization is destroyed. Joel, who of course is played by Daddy Pedro, a hardened survivor, is hired to smuggle Ellie, who is played by Miss Bella Ramsey, a 14-year-old girl, out of an oppressive quarantine zone. What starts as a small job soon to become a brutal, heartbreaking journey, as they both must traverse the U.S. and depend on each other for survival. Now, the cast for season 1 also included Gabrielle Luna and Anna Trove, Nicole Parker, Murray Bartlett, Nick Offerman, Melanie Linsky, Storm Reed, Merle Danridge, Jeff Pierce, Lamar Johnson. I was about to say Lamar Jackson, not from the Ravens. Kevon Woodard, Graham Genie, Eileen Miles, Ashley Johnson, and Troy Baker. Now, The Last of Us provided a massive hit for Max with both critics and audiences. In addition to stellar viewership, the show received multiple awards nominations for its first season. It received 3 Golden Globe nominations for 25 Emmy nominations. So damn, killing it.
Yeah, and I love that show. I had never heard of the video game, Don't hate me. Don't come at me. And so I just went fresh in on the show, and I fucking loved it. I think it's fantastic, and what a cast to pull together for season 2. All right, let's jump on over to the Eye, and as we just mentioned, even though Tom Cruise inked a deal at Warner Brothers earlier this week, the pact was non-exclusive. And it looks like he's going to continue to be Paramount's golden boy for quite some time. Sources say that Top Gun 3 is in development at Paramount, with Top Gun Maverick co-writer Ehren Kruger currently writing a draft. The word is that the project will indeed reunite Cruise with Maverick's Miles Teller and Glenn Powell, as well as producers Jerry Bruckheimer and David Ellison. Joe Krasinski will reportedly either direct or produce. Now, sources are speculating that that film could be the 3-time Oscar nominee's potential next project after he wraps up Mission Impossible 8. Even without Top Gun 3, it will be a challenge for Cruise to get anything off of the ground at Warner Brothers for at least 2 years, maybe longer, because he has all these other back-to-back films that he's doing for other studios. So while it was a great coup for Warner Brothers, when and if we're ever going to see him shoot anything, who knows?
Who knows, man? Who knows? Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of jumping around right now, and people are just trying to get back to the stars, making the stars happy.
Oh, yeah.
After recurring in the 5th season for FX's acclaimed crime drama anthology Fargo, Lucas Gage has been tapped to star opposite of Naomi Scott in Paramount's sequel to Smile, the 2022 horror thriller from Parker Finn, which went on an outside success in theaters following the pivot in the release strategy. Now, details as to the plot are yet to be named for the untitled film, as well as the role of the actors cast thus far are being kept well under wraps. But what we do know is Finn has returned to direct from his own script, with Temple Hill producing. Now, and all we know as well for the release time frame, kind of, because everybody knows the schedule is very loosey-goosey. The sequel is currently slated for a release date of October 18th of 2024.
We'll see, right? This next one was kind of surprising. I think it caught everybody off guard. A new Star Trek film is in the works at Paramount, with Andor's Toby Haynes on board to direct and Seth Grahame-Smith penning the script. But it's not Star Trek 4. The one that everybody's been waiting for. While plot details are being kept under wraps, apparently the upcoming feature will be an origin story that is set decades before 2009 Star Trek, as well as an expansion of the Star Trek universe. Now, J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot is producing. Haynes recently directed 6 episodes of the Star Wars series Andor, starring Diego Luna. He also helmed the Star Trek-inspired episode of Black Mirror titled USS Callister. Now, Grahame-Smith, of course, is best known as the author of the best-selling novels Pride and Prejudice and Zombies and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. He also wrote and produced 2017's The Lego Batman Movie. Now, in case you were wondering, what does that mean for the 4th one? Are we ever going to get an ending to that crew? Apparently so. The 4th installment of the rebooted Star Trek film series does remain in development, with the studio describing it as the final chapter. Now, in the 3rd film, of course, 2016 Star Trek Beyond, the crew of the USS Enterprise crash-landed on a mysterious world where it was being attacked by the lizard-like dictator Krall, played by Idris Elba. I'm wondering, origin story decades before Kirk and them, is it going to be Hemsworth? Is it gonna? Right? Are they gonna show Daddy? Remember, they had that little cameo. If that would be interesting, right? I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Jeremy Renner is kicking off 2024 by returning to acting. Everybody was wondering after his accident. The Oscar nominee took to Instagram to post a selfie from his first day on set of his hit show Mayor of Kingstown for season 3. Which notably marks his high-profile return to acting, follow, like I said, his near-fatal snowplow accident last year. Now, Renner's caption read, "Day 1 on set. Nervous today. Hope this all works out, that I can actually pull this off for our production and, more importantly, for the fans." I feel like he doesn't give himself enough credit.
He doesn't.
Renner was hospitalized for the blunt chest trauma and orthopedic injuries on January 1st, 2023, after his snowcat, a large snowplow that weighs at least 14,000 pounds, ran him over. Now, he spent the majority of 2023 in physical therapy. Now, of course, Renner joins host Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper on CNN's New Year's Eve special to confirm that he was returning to acting at the start of 2024 via Mayor of Kingstown. Now, of course, the show was renewed for season 3 last September, and if you guys have not jumped on this show, please be sure to do so. If you like crime dramas, this is it for you.
Oh, without doubt. And I'm hoping this means maybe down the line we'll see him back as Hawkeye popping up in Daredevil somewhere or something. He is a street-level guy, awesome. Just saying. Mm-hmm. Let's jump on over to NBC Universal, where this one is not surprising at all. David Gordon Green has exited The Exorcist Deceiver, the 2025 sequel to last year's poorly received sequel in the horror franchise. Now, Universal and Blumhouse are searching for a new director. Deceiver has been removed from Universal's release calendar altogether. Meanwhile, Green is in production on Nutcracker, starring Ben Stiller, and season 4 of HBO's The Righteous Gemstones. Now, Believer brought in just $65 million at the box office, plus $70 million in international markets. Green wrote the screenplay with Peter Sattler and shares a story by credit with Scott Teems of Righteous Gemstones mastermind Danny McBride, who also wrote and executive produced Halloween's trilogy. Before Believer was released, 2 sequels were confirmed to be in development with Green, McBride, Sattler, and Teams on board. Gordon's exit as director is not entirely surprising, like I said, as it was reported that the franchise would undergo some creative changes following Believer's poor reception. So, there you go.
Yeah. Love it, man. Love it. Well, Seth Rogen's production company, Point Grey Pictures, is teaming up with this studio for more rated R hits like Neighbors, Good Boys, and Blockers. Now, Universal Pictures has forged a first-look film partnership with Point Grey Pictures, the company that Rogen co-founded with Evan Goldberg back in 2011. James Weaver, a longtime producing partner, is the president of Point Grey, which is named after the Vancouver secondary school where Rogen and Goldberg first met. Now, Point Grey's recent slate includes Prime Video's series The Boys and spin-offs like Gen V and the newly announced Mexico. Now, in 2023, the company produced Paramount's animated reimagining of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, which generated more than $181 million at the worldwide box office. Point Grey's films include dramatic and absurd comedies like 50-50, Sausage Party, and This Is the End. And they have garnered a combined worth of $1 billion globally. So it only makes sense. They're doing pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, if you're one of the rare people who didn't want to spend 3 hours in the theater watching Oppenheimer, now you can spend 3 hours at home. It's exciting! Oppenheimer is coming to NBC Universal's Peacock, allowing viewers to experience the 3-hour historical epic from the comfort of their own home. Nolan's award-winning blockbuster, starring Cillian Murphy in the title role, will stream on Peacock beginning on February 16th, nearly 7 months after its July 21st, 2023 release. Now, in addition to Oppenheimer, Peacock will also have the following Nolan-directed films available to also stream beginning February 1st. That includes Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, Dunkirk, Inception, and Memento. Zaslav?
Nah. Right?
What? These are all Warner Brothers films, and they're not on Max? All right.
Are they listening? Oh, Moving on. We teased this a little bit earlier. The People's Choice Awards is going to be hosted by the one and only Barbie and Shang-Chi star, Simu Liu. He's going to host that bad boy for 2024, which honors crowd favorites across the entertainment industry. Hosted at the Barker Hangar in Santa Monica, this year's 2-hour telecast will air live on NBC, Peacock, and E! On February 18th. Now, Liu previously won People's Choice Award in the Action Movie Star category for his lead role in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. He is no stranger to hosting, though, having recently served as a host for Character Media's Unforgettable Gala in December. This year, Liu is also nominated for a People's Choice Award for his performance as one of Ken's summer blockbusters, RB. So, only makes sense. I feel like he'll do a good job.
Oh, without doubt. I'm excited for him because, he's just been killing it lately, and good for him. Sony, let's jump over to Sony. Speaking of killing it, Sony announced this week that Columbia Pictures' Ghostbusters Frozen Empire has pushed up its release date by 1 week from March 29th to March 22nd of 2024. The move positions the film to capitalize on another week of spring break viewership in a fairly open window, opening against Lionsgate's Mark Wahlberg adventure pick Arthur the King, and focus features the American Society of Magical Negroes. Among the other titles that it'll be going up against. Set to screen in IMAX and premium large formats, the latest picture is the storied Ghostbusters franchise watches as the Spengler family returns to where it all started, the iconic New York City firehouse, to team up with original Ghostbusters who've developed a top-secret research lab to take bustling ghosts to the next level. Now, when the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, Ghostbusters new and old must join forces to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. Frozen Empire is, of course, the fifth film in the series and follows up 2021's Ghostbusters Afterlife, which grossed over $204 million worldwide. Afterlife, of course, told the story of single mother Callie Spengler and her two children who moved to a small town and discover their connection to the original Ghostbusters. Now, as mysterious supernatural events unfold, the family unearthed the legacy left behind by Callie's estranged father, one of the original Ghostbusters. Now, in addition to Kuhn, returning cast members in the new film will include Paul Rudd, Finn Wolfhard, McKenna Grace, Celeste O'Connor, Logan Kim, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and Annie Potts. Other actors aboard for the sequel include Kamali Najani and Patton Oswalt. No Bill Murray.
Very interesting,
Yeah.
right? Very interesting. We'll see how that plays out.
Right?
Heading over to Lionsgate, a lot of people have interest in this one. Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic starring Jafar Jackson as the King of Pop, is actually getting a global release. Now, Lionsgate is releasing the movie stateside on April 18th of 2025. Lionsgate announced that it was beginning production on director Antoine Fuqua's Michael on January 22nd. Now, the John Logan scripted movie, produced by Bohemian Rhapsody's Graham King, follows the complicated man who becomes the King of Pop from triumphs to tragedies, from his human side to personal struggles to his creative genius. Now, the co-executive producers of the Michael Jackson estate, John Branca and John McClane, are also producers. Jafar Jackson, the 27-year-old nephew, who is the star of the film, nephew of Michael Jackson, landed the title role last January.
Yeah.
The singer and songwriter is the son of former Jackson 5 member and solo act Jermaine Jackson. Now, Jafar has been singing and dancing since the age of 12 and showcased himself singing tunes from Sam Cooke to Marvin Gaye, along with some of his originals. So that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, they say that the resemblance is like uncanny, that he looks like freaking crazy, a lot like Mike. I don't know. All right, let's jump over to Netflix, where we have got two of your favorites and big news on both. Stranger Things is finally going back to Hawkins. Production on the fifth and final season of the Juggernaut Netflix series is currently set to begin in early January, though the start date is still subject to change. Filming was postponed, of course, for over 7 months due to the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes. The entire cast of the series is expected to return, including Winona Ryder, David Harbour, Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, Gates Matarazzo, Caleb McCollum, Sadie Sink, Natalie Dyer, Charlie Heaton, Joe Keery, the whole cast, okay? Terminator star Linda Hamilton is joining the cast for season 5, and Prey and 10 Cloverfield Lane director Dan Trachtenberg will be helming at least one episode alongside regular directors, the Duffers themselves, and Sean Levy, who is also executive producing. Now, there is virtually no chance season 5 will debut until any earlier than 2025, but If you need your fix, Stranger Things The First Shadow, a stage play set in Hawkins, Indiana in 1959 that tracks the origins of several of the major characters from the show, will debut in the Phoenix Theatre in London's West End on December 14th. Book your plane tickets. The script is written by Stranger Things writer and co-executive producer Kate Traffey, based on an original story by the Duffers. So there you go.
That's interesting. Yeah, I was not expecting that.
No.
One of Netflix's other top shows, The Witcher Season 4 at Netflix, has cast legendary actor Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes.
Now, Fishburne joins the hit high fantasy series in the role of Regis. The first introduced in the Witcher novel, Baptism of Fire. The character is described as a world-wise barber surgeon type with a mysterious past who joins Geralt on his journey. Now, Fishburne is the latest new addition to the cast of the series for the 4th season. Liam Hemsworth will be joining the show starting season 4 in the lead role of Garlart, taking over for Henry Cavill. Wonder how they're going to spin that bad boy.
Yeah.
Other cast members for season 4 include Anya Charlotta, Faya Allen, Joy Betty, and of course, production on season 4 will begin this spring, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah. All right, let's finish this bad boy off with Apple. Following the huge success of The Family Plan last month, Apple Original Films and Skydance are re-teaming on another tentpole. John Krasinski and Natalie Portman, I love that already, are set to star in Fountain of Youth with Guy Ritchie directing. Now, Skydance Media will serve as the studio, and the film will be produced for Apple by Skydance. Written by James Vanderbilt. The James Vanderbilt? The pick follows two estranged siblings who partner on a global heist to find a mythological fountain of youth. They must use their knowledge of history to follow clues on an epic adventure that will change their lives and possibly lead to immortality. Fountain of Youth has been a high priority for Skydance after getting a script from Vanderbilt that sources said blew execs away. But the studio needed the right package of talent before it moved forward with the film. Ritchie, who has been as busy as any director in town, had been eyeing the project since the spring, with Krasinski also circling it around the same time, but the dual strikes forced things, of course, to be put on pause. Once the strikes were settled, both gave their commitments, and the delay also opened the door for Portman to land the other lead role, with her schedule opening up at the top of 2024. The plan is to shoot this bad boy during the first quarter this year. The news comes, of course, a month after Apple and Skydance's The Family Plan starring Mark Wahlberg became the biggest film to premiere on Apple TV+. So it only makes sense.
It really does, man. It really does. Ooh, boy. First industry news of 2024.
Bam!
I feel like we did fantastic.
Yeah!
It
was fun.
Love it. It is. But man, oh man, now it is time for our guest segment. We have the one and only Dylan Hoffman coming on, of course, from You Are So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah, with the one and only Adam Sandler and his two amazing daughters and wife. I forgot to mention the wife earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's going to be a great conversation. I'm super excited for everybody to hear it.
Yeah, oh, without doubt. Tune in just to hear about his first on-screen kiss that he had to do with Sandler's daughter. No pressure there. None. That's worth the interview right there. But this is a solid, great interview. It's a lot of fun. You guys are really going to enjoy this bad boy.
For sure. Well, here he is.
Dylan Hoffman, welcome inside the Crazy Ant Farm, man. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? How are you
dude, we are living the dream as always. We are super excited to talk to you. First of all, congratulations on the huge success of the film. You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah. It was a huge success. Adam Sandler right out the gate with your first one. That's awesome, and we are, of course, going to talk all about that because we've got so many questions. The film was definitely interesting. But we're going to talk about so much more, too, bro. You're a sports dude. We're both sports dudes, so we're pumped to talk to you about that. And of course, the career, man. A young guy getting started. If we did the research right, you got started pretty young, like 10. So that's pretty awesome. That's typically how we kind of just dive into this thing, man. So for anybody who might not be familiar with your work or hasn't checked you out yet, let's talk about that. How did you get started in the industry? Was it something you always saw yourself doing or wanted to do, or just something you kind of fell into, man?
So I mean, ever since I was a little kid, I think it's been just kind of like my thing to entertain. I always loved to like wear the costumes, like run around, like start singing, dancing, whatever it was, and whether it was annoying or just like, everyone loved it. I was doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, from a young age, it's like I had the YouTube channel. It was like, I just kind of love that aspect of like, I don't know, like creating something and then like showing it to people. Maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't. But from there, my mom was an actress, and before she was in a little bit of casting. But yeah, she was on this smaller film that was filmed near our house. And one day I just came to set, and they were filming whatever, and they let me run around and just kind of have fun, and it was just like one of the best days ever. I ended up, and my mom told me, I obviously don't remember it, but she was like, yeah, you told me you were like, you had the best day ever. And, you just enjoyed yourself and you really liked it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah. So yeah, but the next day, we went back in and they actually gave me like a small speaking role. And that was like my first
Wow.
IMDb credit. Yeah, it's called like The Unlimited Lives of Gwen Salden. I'm not sure where it went. But that was kind of just like the first thing that jump started me into it. And I never looked back. I love this stuff. It's yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. And like we were telling you in the pre-interview, we are also filmmakers ourselves, and we always say that being on set is a different type of feeling than a normal day, or at least especially for people who go to work, and this is what we do for work. So be able to go there, and it's like a master class too. You can go to an actor and learn about acting. You can go to the cinematographer and learn about the camera movements, or director directing people how to act, or they're envisioning the shots and things. So to be able to have that experience so young is very volatile, I feel like, because you are able to soak it in. Because I always heard, when you're younger, you absorb things quicker. Like they always say, teach your kids Spanish when you're younger because it's easier or
Right.
something like that. So, I mean, it's kind of the same, I feel like, with everything. So that's really fun. What movie do you think inspired, or what do you think was your favorite movie growing up to where you were like, okay, this is what I want to do?
So yeah, so this is an easy one. This is like if like day one, if you know me well, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is like my
Mm.
all time. Like I'm from Chicago. It is like that is just like the peak in my head, like movie. Like I don't know, like ever since day one, it's just like I don't know. I just love that they just like got to run around and do whatever. It's just like Ferris was like the coolest guy to me, and I just loved it. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I was like, I want to run around. I want to sing on a parade float. I wanna, like I want to I want to ditch school, go to a Cubs game. But like, and for anyone watching, if there is ever a reboot, I'm your guy. I am. No, seriously. No, I mean anyone who's I'll write it, I'll produce it, whatever. Let's do it. Anyone. I'm game. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. All right, so you quickly shot up to the near the top of my fave guest list, because anybody who loves 80s movies, especially Ferris Bueller, I mean, come on, man. That's so epic. I think that sparked so much trouble early on because so many people were ditching school to go try to have days like that. It was the school system's like, whoa, let's not show this right now. But who didn't want to do that, right? And what's the responsible way to do that? Of course, become an actor and do it like that. It's kind of like you get to do it for real. That's awesome, man. And Broderick, of course, huge career, and that's definitely a guy you want to kind of follow in the footsteps of. So talk about, okay, what came next? You want to do it. You enjoy doing it, kind of a thing. You got on set, you did that little part or whatever. Did you, because your mom, you said, was an actress, so did you know the route, like, okay, got to get an agent, got to start getting into some casting gigs, doing some auditions and stuff? And by the way, how old were you? You were like, what, 10, right? Like, so...
Yeah, no, like 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I was just like, I want to have fun. Like, I had no idea what was
yeah.
But yeah, no. So I'm pretty sure from there, what happened was that my mom put me on castings website,
Yep.
and pretty much any open call I was going to. I'm pretty sure we were driving to Milwaukee like every other weekend doing auditions. With different various casting directors. And actually my first audition, past that, it was for this, I think it was this health clinic.
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
Fields, yeah. And then I got it first audition out the gate, and it was like it was super fun. I felt like I was like pampered all day. Like it was pretty cold on set. It was snowing, and they would like hand me my blanket and stuff. And they were, I was like, I love this. Yeah, no. And then um from there, basically, just kept auditioning, and I ended up signing with the Rock Agency, who also had my mom as a client, and we developed a pretty great relationship. Just auditioning, and which brought me to my next role, which was Next.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That premiered on Fox. Yeah, and
Smooth pun. Smooth pun right there. Like,
Oh, yeah, I didn't even,
My
that one was
next
mine.
role.
Pretty much that kind of just like set things off for me. Like that kind of set in stone in my mind. Like that's really like what I wanted to do, um, which was a huge stepping stone for me for sure in my career, with the help of also my wonderful managers, Joe and Lisa, coaching me on
Mm-hmm.
audition, and all the help from them. Yeah, but no, I'm super grateful for all that. And
Man, that's awesome because I
Yeah.
really feel like, we've interviewed a lot of child stars on our podcast, and I feel like you are very ahead of the game. You can tell too with the emotional support and the professional support that you have around you with your management team and your mom. So how important is it to have that support base around you to keep you motivated, to keep you moving forward in this industry?
yeah, honestly, there's nothing more important than the wonderful support base from, like my dad, my mom, like honestly, I've been blessed, and I'm very lucky to have the people in my life that are able to just fully support me and understand, my craft and what I want to be doing. Especially my dad, he's an artist, and
Hmm.
he is, he's not, he doesn't fully understand the TV and movie industry, because like that's not where he's from, but like
Right.
he
Right.
completely gets that I love it, and he is like full steam ahead. Like, and that's what I love about him so much, and my mom as well, is they make a great team, and for anyone watching that wants to get into acting, developing and finding that great support system and group it's really going to help you get far. It's really something, it's a necessity for sure.
Mm.
Mm.
Couple of things there that really jumped out to me. One, because this industry, especially for young actors, there's a lot of temptation. There's a lot of opportunity to go the wrong way with it. You get that little bit of pampering, like you said, they're taking care of you, they're making you feel like, and a strong support system, especially from the family and your managers, are what I think keep people on the right path. So the fact that you understand that already and have that, fantastic. The other thing that you said was the developing that relationship and the networking. To understand that so young is critical, because your whole career is based on networking and relationships and how they view you, because I think a lot of people out there don't realize how small the community actually is. So whatever your reputation is, it gets spread real quick about whether you're a good or bad guy to be working with. And so the fact that you understand that so early on is fantastic. Which is probably why you get gigs with like Adam Sandler. Because can we just say the first movie out, you're going up with Sandler? And then
Yeah.
when I saw that too, and then after watching the movie and realizing that one, you're playing the bad guy, and two, opposite Sandler's daughter, as if it's not pressure enough that Sandler's producing and starring in it, but now you're having to go toe to toe with his daughter. I would have been terrified. I'm like, oh crap, I can't do anything wrong here. Talk about that. First of all, the casting process and how awesome that was, and how did that come about? And then talk a little bit about that, the being on set and having the pressure of Sandler, who's had massive success and also started young. Just talk about that a little bit and what that whole experience was like.
I mean, yeah, honestly, obviously one of the greatest experiences of my life, like that, friend, just from the gate, the audition process, obviously got a call. It was a request, which made me, very excited.
For sure.
And, yeah, did the audition and was like, I like this, and, got great feedback. It was awesome. I think we waited a couple weeks, but yeah, I got a call back, and it's like, all right, we're getting closer. Let's see where this goes, And so yeah, I got the call back. They wanted to do a Zoom. I met with Sony. We did a Zoom together, kind of just like a chem read.
Yep.
And actually Sandler popped his head in on that one and said
Nice.
what's up. And it was that was like, oh, like that, that was really just like kind of a shocking moment. But yeah, and waited a couple weeks, and it was like, all right, we need you to come to Toronto, Canada in 4 days. You got it. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, like,
no problem.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it sounds good. And yeah, I mean, obviously it being a shock, but it was just like a really great feeling. It was just like it was. I don't know, it was like euphoric. And the whole process getting there, like the first class seats on the plane, it's like it was just really awesome to get spoiled a little bit. And yeah, I mean, as far as working with Sandler and going toe to toe with his daughter Sunny, who's now my really great friend, I mean, that was just an amazing process. I mean, yeah, no, they're just like the realest people probably in entertainment. Like, I've had some of the realest conversations with the cast of any of the people I've encountered in my life, and it was just great working with them. It was just the chemistry from day one, becoming friends. I mean, it's just like, it's like five kids, you put them together and you just get to run around Canada and film a movie during the day. It's like, it was just awesome, truly.
I love that too, because it looked like a really fun movie.
It did.
One, you got to go to like, I don't know how many freaking bat mitzvahs was in that movie, like 5. So you got to go to all these different parties. And then I also feel like, doing our research on you and going through like your Instagram, a lot of your clothing choices and costume choices looked like something you would actually wear in real life. So did you have any input in your costume design? Because I feel like that just came right out of your closet.
So Jordy, who love her. Yeah, she's one of the most talented people I know. We had great chemistry from day one, obviously. In the first kind of when in the first fitting we did, obviously great chemistry. And yeah, I could just tell. Like, and we kind of just like vibed it out a little bit. But yeah, like I for sure love Andy's clothing choices. And I think that's something that me and Jordy got to play around with a little bit and have a lot of fun with. And it was like, I'd see my wardrobe and I'd be like, maybe I don't like this piece. And I'd just run over to the costume trailer and be like, how do we do this or this?
Yeah.
It's super fun because we got to like figure it out together. And it was just, I think we really got to create this sort of style for Andy, and it definitely bled a little bit of me. But yeah, no, and luckily got to take a couple pieces home.
I was about to ask, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure, wear them a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, a huge thank you to Online Ceramics, who I was wearing a lot of in the film. Their stuff's awesome, and yeah.
So building on that, so you had a little bit of leeway there, you had a little bit of input, say, and Sandler, I'm assuming, is just an ad-lib off the top kind of a guy on any film he does. You could just see that. Did you have that ability? Was the director friendly with, could you take it a little bit here or there or play with the dialogue? Or, I mean, were you able, because you seem like that kind of, anybody who references Ferris Bueller as the motivation, I feel like is going to make some ad-libs, is going to kind of go off script a little bit. Were you able to do that? And how was that, the chemistry and being able to say, hey, I don't feel real comfortable here. Maybe I wouldn't say it this way or that way. Did you have that luxury to be able to do that?
So luckily with our amazing director, Sammy Cohen, we were obviously given that great luxury. I mean, and it was a really fun process because I mean, yeah, it was like ad-libbing here, ad-libbing there, and it kind of just having fun with the script, and it's like Andy is this very precocious and just not obviously nice person. So, like in the retirement home scene where it's like I'm dribbling away the basketball and I like cross up this old man. It's like I had to kind of play and toy with like what I was saying and, like if I was yelling at him or like Goldfarb rules or whatever, and yeah, I mean, we got to play with that a little bit, and it's just, yeah, I mean, it was just super fun to be able to like mess around with just whatever lines were in the film.
Love it.
That's awesome. And I mean, yeah, you did get a lot of, I feel like, creative freedom. But like you said, from your own vein, that with costume designing, it was also the same with your character being a sports guy, because you're a really big sports guy. I know you're really big into football, but they kind of portrayed you more as a soccer guy. Do you like soccer, or are you kind of just all the way around, or what's your favorite style of sport?
So yeah, so I'm a football player at heart, and
Mm-hmm.
I started doing that freshman year of high school. But before actually all throughout middle school, I did play soccer, and it was decent. It was just
Yeah,
it was like I would like to say I'm an athletic guy,
there you
and
go.
so like it was kind of just like, oh, I'll do every sport, in middle school, because it's like all of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. Coming into high school, definitely picked my sport, which is football.
There you
Uh,
go.
yeah, and track as well, which is
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, not so much of a soccer guy.
I feel you. I feel you. Did you actually kick the ball and hit her in the face? Was that something you I was like,
Didn't
dang,
didn't
man.
actually hit her in the face, no.
No.
But I did kick the ball. I did kick the ball. Yeah.
Nice. You a
There you
wide
go.
out? I'm just curious.
Mm,
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, you've got the frame. You look exactly like I did in high school. I'm like, he's got to play a wide out. That's what I played. I'm just like, there's no way. Do you go two ways? Do you play DB too, or?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
And I mean, with the pre-recording before the national championship game, who do you got, Washington or Michigan? That's the real question.
Michigan all the way.
There we go.
Yeah, go blue, baby.
Let's
Go blue.
Harbaugh. Let's do it. Let's do it.
That's right. I love this kid already. He is like, he hasn't
Yeah,
said a
right.
single thing wrong yet. I just love it. Okay. Now I'm curious because you're still a young guy. You're high school. You're on a big movie. You've got Sandler's kid. Not bad looking. Do you have a girlfriend? Was that your first on-screen kiss? And if you have a girlfriend, how'd that go? Just curious. I mean,
Yeah, so no, I don't have a girlfriend.
Probably good then. That's all right. Okay. All right.
No awkwardness.
Yeah, didn't have one while we were shooting, obviously. But yeah, no, that was my first on-screen kiss.
And
Nice.
It especially the kiss we shot with Sony,
Right.
a little stressful, to say, and there actually is a really funny blooper where it's like Adam like pulled open the curtain and he was like, "We're going home," and it was like, which was really fun. No, but I mean, obviously we're very professional.
of course.
Mhm.
We're able to be comfortable in doing that. Obviously the cast, collectively, we grew pretty close together over that summer. So as much as it was weird, it was also just like, we're working. So
I love
yeah.
that. I love that.
There you go.
That's-
Yeah. The professionalism at your age is amazing, because there's people way beyond you in years that are still not that professional. So kudos to you. Kudos to your team, your parents for raising you right. Because, there are some crazy people out there. But
Right.
something new that we're starting in 2024 with our guest is our popcorn questions. And I'm very excited about this. And you might have actually kind of answered these questions unintentionally throughout the interview, but we can just reiterate them. So I'm going to start. It's only 5 questions. And I'm going to start out with the first one. What is the funniest moment or most memorable moment on set of this film?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I mean, there's so many. Funny or most memorable? I would say in Devon's B'nai Mitzvah, we got to run around in the Royal York Hotel and
Nice.
have our own rooms and, do whatever. And so it's like this giant extravaganza party is going on downstairs while we're just like chilling, and me and my co-star, Judd, who's my very, very close friend, we were able to just kind of chill in these robes, and just like watch TV, whatever. And we actually got to learn the TikTok dance that was being shot, which and so we were just in these rooms upstairs, like getting the hang of it, and there's videos of me acting up because like I had no idea what I was doing, and Judd was just like killing it. He's an actor. I don't know what that kid's doing at home, but he's good at TikTok dancing. But that was super fun. I mean, every day was a new memory for sure. And
Nice.
we just had a great time.
All right,
love
I've
that.
got one. I don't have the list pulled up in front of me, Logan, but I've got one for you. I mean, the first one out, you land a gig with Sandler. That's got to be amazing. But do you have an actor that you're like, okay, I'm continuing this thing. I'm running and gunning. This is what I want to do. And this is the person that I absolutely have to work with, that I want to work with. Do you have that person?
Yeah, and as much as it like, I feel like right now this is probably mainstream, but like forever, Timothy Chalamet has been like my like go-to. Like I don't know, he's just one of the most talented actors I've ever watched, and I really really admire his craft in everything he does, from like Lady Bird to Call Me by Your Name to I would love to work with him.
Nice.
There you go. Good choice. Good choice. I'm more of a Tom Holland guy, but it's okay. I won't hold it against you. It's fine. It's fine.
I could see this guy in a Marvel movie, though. Like, without
could
doubt,
be.
bro. I could totally see you in a,
Right.
yeah.
That would be
That's
awesome.
funny. If you could live in a film, what film would it be?
Ooh. Well, can't say Ferris Bueller's Day Off because I already do live in that film.
There you go.
But no, oh, I did just mention this. So have you guys seen Call Me by Your Name?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, so I Italy and Europe is like one of my favorite places. I've to travel there, but I really hope to soon. And just the way that they shot Italy in the film is
Right.
like I would love to just be encapsulated in that, like and just like live that life and like ride my little bike around and like in Italy. That'd be awesome.
Love that.
I know, right? Talk about a dream vacation right there. Goodness gracious. The last two are kind of, so what's your morning routine? How do you start the day and how do you get motivated in the morning to, knock out everything you have in front of you?
So yeah, so I am a high school student and I
Hmm.
go to public school. So usually on those days, I'll wake up and it'll be a struggle, but I'll wake up. And first thing I like to do is get in the shower because it kind of just like
Ah, yeah, let
and
it
then
all go.
yeah. But yeah, no, get in the shower, obviously brush my teeth, wash my face, do all that stuff. Pick my outfit, it's pretty important to me on most days. But yeah, eat a good meal.
Yep.
I think, yeah, definitely try and stay healthy for that as well. And
Hmm.
I drink like a big glass of water. I think that's pretty important.
Definitely.
Very.
Yeah, and then pet my dog a little bit, say hi to the fam. It's
There you go.
yeah, it's pretty chill on most mornings, to be honest.
Yeah.
Got to get the dog in there, though. Got to.
Got to.
It's
It's good for the mental health. It's good for the
Absolutely.
mental health.
Yeah.
And the last one so far, I know you're so early on, but it's still, one of those things. Are you happy with your career so far?
You know, I I I believe that I'm extremely blessed to have
Hmm.
had the opportunity to, kickstart my career with this wonderful film that we made. And yeah, I am really happy that that happened, but I'm
Hmm.
not going anywhere.
I love that.
I love it.
I
I
love
got a
that
lot.
answer. I love
I got
that.
a lot.
So, quickly, any aspirations eventually behind the camera? The way I bring that up because you said you love the way they shot Italy, meaning you're clearly paying attention to the way things look. Any aspirations to get behind the camera, either as a cinematographer or as a director at some point in the career?
I think directing would be awesome. Like that would like in the long run. That I mean, I would love to have a really well captured acting career first.
Hmm.
Get my get that done or not done. But like just like have like a wonderful experience doing that. Maybe get some producing credits. Get behind that a little bit. But yeah, no, I would love to direct a film. That would be my dream, or even writing. It's one of my biggest passions. I do love cameras as well. I have a huge collection, and I do just love shooting stuff. If you see me, I'm always just like behind my phone taking pictures of whatever. But yeah, no, directing would be awesome in the future.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, dude,
so
you see Logan, he's got that, you see the little projector in the camera. You see behind me, I got my 8mm. We're big camera collectors as well. We've got a pretty extensive collection as well, so that's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. But man, I am super excited for your career, and you have always you've earned your spot. Okay, you are an honorary crazy ant. If you ever want to come back inside this podcast, please feel free to reach out because this was an amazing conversation. I feel like you are very prepared for the entertainment industry and very prepared for all the things that are coming your way. And I think you have a very bright future in this industry. So I'm very excited for you. And, it's all about social media. So where can people follow you?
So on Instagram, I'm the real Dylan Hoffman, and on TikTok, I'm It's Dylan Hoffman.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I don't have Twitter because I'm not negative, but yeah.
Nice. Well, like I said, man, open invite. Anytime you ever want to come back on, we also have a mental health podcast. So there's all these different lanes that we're trying to get in, but we're very excited for you. Everybody be sure to check out You're So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah on Netflix with the one and only Dylan Hoffman. Man, again, like I said, thank you so much for coming on the show, and all the success in the world, man. We're super excited for you.
I really appreciate that. Much love.
Yes, sir. Take care, man, and we'll be in touch soon, buddy.
All
right.
Bye. Ooh, boy, talk about a young talent that I think is going to go really far in this industry.
Oh, dude, without doubt, he's already got it so put together. And I was really, really impressed with him. And I mean, this guy's got anybody who references 80s films, like he's a teenager. He's already referencing 80s films. I love this kid. But all kidding aside, I think, like you said, the ability to understand the industry already and how it works and how to present yourself, that's huge. And I just think, I agree with you. He's going to have a long career in this business. And just a stellar young guy, man.
Agreed, man. Agreed. I'm super excited. But man, oh man, thank you again, Dylan Hoffman, for coming on the show. All right, man. Oh my goodness. It is time for a top 5 segment and first one of 2024. So it only makes sense. So
of course,
it's going to be top 5 2024 films that we're most excited to see, what we're anticipating, and all the good things. And we have a lot of good ones, man.
Yes. And to be fair, a lot of them on yours and maybe some of them on mine, we both want to see, but we didn't want to do duplicates. So we're going to nail all these bad boys. It's going to be amazing.
We really are. Well, number 5 for both of us is the Zendaya-led Challengers. Awful name, and there's another one on my list that has an awful name. I don't really like the titles of these bad boys, but I think this is just so juicy, man. I mean, she's been completely separating herself from like that child star and completely like full-fledged actress, right? I mean, I'm so excited about this one.
Oh, me too. I think this one, I'm just going to go on record, could garner her an Oscar nomination. I really do. It's that type of a story. If you guys aren't familiar, if you haven't seen the trailer, she's a tennis phenom who gets injured and her career kind of ends, and so she becomes a coach. And she's coaching these 2 guys who apparently she's also having a relationship with, both guys, and they are challenging each other as to who's going to end up with her. If that doesn't sound like All In with Zendaya, I don't even know what. I mean, how can you not want to see this film? It sounds freaking amazing. And you're right. It's a very adult role. She's just continuing to take the Malcolm and Marie, like all these things that, right? That was the title, right?
It was. Yeah,
just these things that where she's like elevating to that next level, and I'm loving it because she's so freaking talented, man.
So good, man. If y'all haven't checked out this trailer, please be sure to do so. It is wild. It starts off as like just like this threesome type of thing, and then it does work into
it's like
competing and like all this stuff. So yeah, be sure to check out Challengers when it comes out and check out the trailer. Number 4 for me is kind of a left turn because I feel like, we're really big into animation and we're really big into Disney. Obviously, everybody knows that. So number 4 for me goes to Mufasa, the Lion King. I'm really excited for this one because I feel like, Mufasa is supposed to be this greater than life, figure in the Lion King franchise and to Simba, and completely changes the Pride Lands, right? So I'm really curious to see if he had a father figure that was kind of like himself and it kind of just trickled down, or if he was like, okay, my dad's a dick, so I have to learn how not to be that way. It'll be really interesting to see how they completely approach this story because it is different. I think it's kind of like Lightyear, where you know the character,
Yeah.
but in this realm, they're like, okay, this is going to be a way easier sell than what Lightyear was to the audiences. So,
Yeah.
but I'm super excited about it because Mufasa gets quoted all the time. James Earl Jones is a beast. I mean, obviously, he's not coming back to voice Mufasa,
But it
I
still
feel
could
like
be him.
it
Because
still
remember,
could
he
be.
sold his voice rights to so they can
That's true.
use AI to create his voice. So who knows if it might be him?
That's so funny. But yeah, I'm super excited about that one. Number 4 for me, Mufasa, the Lion King.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that sounds exciting. I think you nailed that. I'm excited to see that one too. I think it's going to be really interesting, and I'm glad that they're doing it. My number 4, I'm not going to say a whole bunch about it because I talked about it at the top. I am one of those people that is a huge fan of the new Planet of the Apes and how they're spinning it. That started with Franco and Lithgow and Caesar, and where they're taking it. My number 4 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm excited to see where it goes next, what's happening. It looks freaking scary. The trailer looks scary. Like you don't want to be in this world of the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. But even more so, I'm just really excited to see it. I like how they're taking this franchise in this direction. So I'm pumped for that one, man. My number 4, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Number 3 for me goes to The Fall Guy, Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
mean, those two right there. I mean, how could you not want to see that? But of course, we are filmmakers ourselves, so we love the world of filmmaking and how they take this elaborate twist. I didn't know before we had the conversation last week that it is kind of a reboot of sorts.
From a TV show, yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. So that's really cool. And I am really excited to see where they take it. It's so funny too because it's old boy who's going to be playing Craven, the
Yeah.
hunter,
Yeah.
who's playing the actor, and then Ryan Gosling is the stunt person. I'm like, I'm a very heterosexual man. I love women, but you have two very attractive men who are supposed to be doubling as each other, and I'm just like, they're in their own lanes. It's so funny to see, but I'm super excited for it because it looks hilarious. Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling's chemistry looks so funny in the trailer. So yeah, The Fall Guy at number 3 for me.
Yes, I'm all in on this. In fact, I wanted it on my list, but I only could put so many, and I knew you were going to put this on there, so I knew we were going to get it in there. The Fall Guy, I was a huge fan of the TV show. Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell. I'm telling you, if they don't use the theme song, I'm going to be pissed off because it's one of the best theme songs ever. And the guy who sings the theme song, Mr. Lee Majors himself, who played Colt Seaver in the TV show, is in it. He does appear in it. So that made me even more happy that he's going to be in it because you can't do The Fall Guy without him. I just think it's basically based on his actual life. Lee Majors, if anybody doesn't know, was a stuntman who transitioned into acting in front of the camera, but he started off his career as a stuntman. And so the whole kind of premise was based on his life. I don't know if he was indeed a bounty hunter, but he was a stuntman who became an actor. So I'm pumped for this, man. They have the truck, so I'm hoping we get the theme song. Anything 80s that's coming back just gets me so excited, which is why my number 3 gets me so excited. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley, because I'm all in on all the Beverly Hills Cop movies. I love them all. We've been waiting for this one forever. It was always rumored. It was always happening. Then it wasn't. Then it was. Then it wasn't. But it is. And it looks phenomenal. It looks like it's going to capture all the stuff you love about Axel Foley and Beverly Hills Cop. It's going to have it all. It's even got Taggart and Billy in the car, the scene. You can't have a Beverly Hills Cop movie without that. I'm so freaking excited. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I love this thing. It's going to be great.
For sure. And especially now, since I've seen the first one, I need to go through and watch the rest of them to be prepared for this one. So yeah, I'm excited. And I actually just reviewed it on TikTok and Letterboxd, so you can be sure to check out my review on the first Beverly Hills Cop.
And now when I tell you my stories about John Ashton, Taggart,
I'll know,
you'll know more now. It's like, oh, that guy. Oh, yeah. Had the pleasure to act with that guy in my very first film as Jasper. Go back and watch John Papsadera's interview. But, yeah, I got to act with that guy. It was freaking amazing. He was so cool. He was just a down-to-earth guy. He was not at all like Taggart. Not at all like Taggart. It was like, yeah, it's just
and
great.
I mean, I don't want to take up too much time, but I heard some stuff about the police chief. The police chief in real life, it was kind of shady, huh?
Yeah.
I guess, was involved with, White Boy Rick and shit. I'm like, what? That's
Facts.
so crazy.
Facts.
That's so crazy. Number 2 for me is honestly surprising that it's on there, even for me. But I so love this person, and I want them to do it right. I love the actor as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm talking about Bob Marley, One Love. Now, the reason I say I'm hesitant and I'm always so scared of biopics is because everybody knows, I know, reviewers know that I'm a big pacing guy. And with biopics, you always have to cover so much. You feel like you jump around. You feel like you may miss certain parts that people are looking forward to, things like that. But this looks so damn good.
It does.
I haven't been this excited for a biopic in a really long time. Honestly, since probably Tupac's All Eyes on Me. But yeah, man, I'm really excited for it. It looks amazing. It also follows the assassination attempt and the complete divide in Jamaica when politics got involved and all of these things. So yes, I'm very excited about this film. Bob Marley, One Love.
Yeah, I'm super excited as well because it doesn't shy away from the controversy. He was a very controversial figure. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. But there was and they don't shy away from his life and what was going up and down with him. And I'm pumped for it. I think those biopics do best when they don't try to sugarcoat shit and they don't try to make everything lovey-dovey. They show you the real thing. And I think that everything I've seen from this movie, it looks like it's going to do that. So I'm super pumped about it. My number 2, continuing with 80s, because duh, and anybody who knows, everybody, I'm a huge Keaton fan. He is the Batman. Michael Keaton has seen the most beloved resurgence ever. He's phenomenal. I'm so happy to see him back, just slaying it in everything that he's doing. So I am beyond excited. My number 2, Beetlejuice 2. Finally, we've been waiting for this one longer than we've been waiting for Beverly Hills Cop. It's so been in the making forever. Like, everybody wanted it. It's finally happening. All of the original cast is coming back, which is amazing. Winona Ryder and all that. And they're throwing in Jenna Ortega as the daughter. You could not have picked a better person to play Winona Ryder's daughter than Jenna Ortega. It's going to be spot on. And just, it was one of my all-time favorite movies back in the day. It's brilliant. It's out there. It's quirky. It's weird. Fucking Tim Burton. That's Tim Burton. But I cannot wait. I simply cannot. Keep killing it, Keaton. That's all I got to say. Keep giving this resurgence. Keep showing up, because I love that dude, man. One of the most underrated actors, I swear to God. He just kills it in everything he does. Fucking Founder and Birdman and just like all the shit. Beetlejuice 2, man. I am so pumped for that one.
I was gonna say the freaking you know how people use the beginning of words for things, keep killing it, Keaton. I was like, nope, don't say it. Don't freaking say it. Goodness gracious. We're good.
That's right.
Everybody.
That's right.
All right. So number 1 for me goes to Bike Riders. Again, awful name. But I'm super excited. Norman Reedus, Austin Butler, freaking Tom Hardy. Like, it's going to be amazing. Everybody knows I love the underworld, and I love every different aspect about it. If it's mobsters, if it's gangs, if it's freaking bike clubs, like things like that. Sons of Anarchy is one of my favorite ones, and I just feel like, this looks so good. And honestly, the person we have to thank is Tom Hanks, because he told Austin Butler after Elvis to keep taking roles so he didn't set in that role, so he didn't really become Elvis. And man, he's doing amazing right now, because I'm super excited for that that show that he's got coming out.
Yeah,
on
the
Apple
military
TV
one
Plus.
about the
That
yeah,
looks
it's gonna be
so
epic.
good.
Tom Hanks, thank you, Tom Hanks. He's behind that too. So yeah,
exactly. But yeah, man, number one, the Bike Riders.
there you go. The only thing this thing is missing is Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Literally,
I feel like he should have been just plopped right in there. He would have fit perfectly, right? My number one's a no-brainer, you guys. I think everybody on the planet is anticipating this one and wants to see it. And it falls into Echo kicking ass on Disney Plus and reestablishing Marvel. This one, too, will reestablish Marvel and the superhero genre by making fun of the superhero genre, which I know is going to happen. But why I'm so all invested, because we're finally going to see it. We are finally going to see Deadpool versus Wolverine. We've been wanting it. We've been wanting that fight. We've been wanting to go to it face-to-face, head-on action. It's going to happen. Not only is it going to happen, but it's going to happen with Wolverine in his suit. Finally, the blue and yellow suit. We're going to get it. So fucking excited. I can't wait. Deadpool 3, my number one. It's gonna be amazing. I've loved all the Deadpools, and I think this one, poking fun at the death of 20th Century Fox and how that messed with their characters, and then poking fun at the superhero genre and pulling it all together and now making these guys part of the MCU and continuity and everything. I just think this film is going to be brilliant. I'm super excited. And with Levy directing it, who's directed both Jackman and Reynolds in other projects, it made sense. All of it just came together. This thing's going to be epic. Deadpool 3, my number one.
Completely agree. I'm really ready for them to drop a trailer for that.
Me too.
Like, come on.
Because they had finished shooting most of it right before the strikes, and they just had a little bit of pickup stuff to go back and do. So I can't believe we haven't gotten a trailer yet.
Exactly. But anyway, guys, that is our top 5. We want to know, what is your most anticipated film for 2024? Be sure to comment below or at us on Twitter. We love the fan interaction, and we are curious to see, is it going to be Argyle? Because we have different opinions about that one. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to be.
Yeah. I'm just in on Dua Lipa, bro.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Dua Lipa with her, like, have you seen the dance scene? I'm just saying,
I know, trust me, I get it. I just can't get past freaking Cavill with a flat top. I understand. So goofy.
I understand.
But anyway, we're heading over to our box office recap, and it's been a slower one, of course, since Christmas. Things have been a little, but right now, number 1 from last week was Wonka with 14 million. Number 2 was Night Swim with 12 million. Number 3 was Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom with 11 million. Number 4 was Migration with 10 million. And number 5 was Anyone But You with 9.5 million. That one is really good. I definitely recommend it. Just saw it recently. So all good things, man. All good things. New movies that are coming out this week that you can go check out at your local cinemas. Mean Girls, the musical. The Beekeeper, Jason Statham.
Yep.
The Book of Clarence with Lakeith Stanfield.
Yep.
Soul is getting a re-release. That's really cool.
Yes, indeed.
And Household Saints. So those are new ones coming out this weekend.
I'm excited about Soul, bro, because we had to watch it on Disney Plus. It didn't get a theatrical release, and it was a brilliant film. So to be able to watch it in a theater with all that great music, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. For sure, man. For sure. Completely agree. Movies you can still go see right now are The Color Purple, Night Swim, The Boys in the Boat, which I also heard was really good, Migration, Anyone But You, Ferrari's out right now, and a couple of other things. So be sure to check all of those out. Good things are in the cinemas, guys. So be sure to head to your local theater and support the entertainment industry.
For sure.
Very worth it. Very worth it. Now heading over to the IMDbPro's top trending segment. Oh my goodness. The top trending movie is Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire. I know that's doing really well for Netflix, I believe. So yeah, be sure to check that one out. I haven't checked that one out yet, so I need to. The top trending TV show is Reacher. You're watching that one right
Love
now,
it.
right?
I love it.
Yeah.
I binge watched season 1 because I jumped on it late, got through that, was hooked. Now I'm rolling through season 2. It comes out I freaking love it. Alan Ritchson, I liked him as Aquaman way back on Smallville. But I hadn't seen a lot of it. He is amazing. He's a phenomenal actor, and he's just killing this role as Reacher, dude. He's killing it.
Nice. He was Aquaman? I thought Justin Hartley was Aquaman.
No, Justin Hartley was Green Arrow.
Green Arrow.
And then when Smallville ended, they wanted to do an Aquaman series, and Justin Hartley was Aquaman. And Justin Hartley was great as Aquaman. I loved that pilot. I'm shocked it didn't get picked up. But yeah, it was confusing. It's because like Ritchson was Aquaman on Smallville, and Hartley was Green Arrow. So everybody was like, wait, why didn't you just put Ritchson in? But anyway, that's how it went.
Very weird. I love him from Blue Mountain State. Completely different type of character.
Oh, yeah.
He has been playing more dramatic roles. And the top trending star is Christian Oliver, who passed away.
Yeah, sadly, I hate when they make the list because of something sad, but it is what it is.
It's rough, man. It's rough. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for getting crazy with us on episode 245, first one of the new year. It's been an amazing episode. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We got to thank our guest one more time, Dylan Hoffman, for coming on the show. Be sure to check out his film on Netflix, You're So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah. And, of course, be sure to follow him on Instagram at Real Dylan Hoffman.
Yes.
Very worth it. This guy is awesome and a bright future in the entertainment industry.
Without
worth the follow.
Doubt. Yeah, definitely follow him because it's just like, he's got a massive future in front of him. This kid's got it together. Just amazing. Man, this show was so fun to just dive back in. Finally talking about some industry news that wasn't strike related. We're actually rocking and rolling and moving with stuff and actors signing and just like, it was so exciting to just be normal, just to have the industry back to normal for a little bit. It was so amazing, and I can't wait. I think this is going to be an amazing year. I think we're going to have some amazing shows throughout this year because we got a lot of big stuff coming, and we are going to hit the huge milestone in like early February of 250. Our 250th show is going to happen in just a few weeks in February. That's amazing to me, man. What a year this is going to be. This is going to be amazing.
Hell yeah. I love it. And to follow all the progress of everything going on at Crazy Ant Media and with us personally, be sure to follow the company at Crazy Ant Media on all social media platforms, the podcast at ITCAF Podcast on all social media platforms, and then, of course, our other podcast, our mental health one, Everything's OKP. New episodes of that will be dropping shortly, so be sure to stay tuned for that. We're going to be starting off with our 2024 mental health goals, and we'll have a few more family sessions and addiction and suicide and children and all of these different things. So it's going to be a great year for that podcast.
Yes. Excited for that one too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And of course, you guys know you can follow us both personally on social media. Myself at J Logan Austin and
Crazy Ant CEO currently. I'm trying to change my handle, but everything I'm picking is not available. It's like I'm the only Dustin Bergman. Why is it not available? Like, get that stuff together. So I will figure out underscore or whatever I have to do to make that work. I promise a new handle is coming. But right now, it is not happening. So Crazy Ant CEO. Keep following me there.
There you go. And you guys know you can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. We're on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. And then, of course, be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can stay up to date with our projects, stay up to date with both podcasts, and, of course, stay up to date with the merchandise. Because right now, like Dustin mentioned earlier in the show, it's free shipping, so be sure to take advantage of that because we got a lot of good stuff on the website and we will be releasing new stuff here soon. So yes, be sure to take advantage. But man, it really has been a great show. It's always a good time, and I mean, really just getting back to what we know and love. It's been an amazing experience.
It has been. And, you know, for all the changes that are coming in 2024 and everything in the new direction and all that kind of stuff, one thing remains consistent. One thing will never change. And maybe the 250th show. Who knows? I don't know. But one thing will never change, and that is our love for the one, the only, Oprah!